Hello, everyone. My name is Antonio Reyes, Regional Director with the Soror Agencies. I've been with the company now going on 9 years. Started out of Columbia, Maryland with the Simon Areas organization. And ever since, I've had the pleasure of working in multiple different states, such as Florida, down in Jacksonville, North Carolina, down in Charlotte, Washington, D.C., West Virginia, Pennsylvania. And now we're here working in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and New York. And what I wanted to do today is I want to cover with you guys the compensation and how do you get paid and kind of just break it down into a little bit more detail. Now, what I want to do is I want to share my screen in order to be able to kind of walk you guys through this. So the first thing that I wanted to do is pull up this PowerPoint. And as I am talking about the compensation, it's really important to kind of understand that there's different kinds of ways that we get paid, that we get compensated, right? So now, what I want to start doing is I want to talk about how you get paid as a benefits representative for two reasons. Number one, everybody starts as a benefits representative. So typically when you start training, you're going to start getting paid as a benefits rep. And the second reason is you got to think about it. We promote from within, which you'll appreciate, because what we're never going to do is we're never going to hire anybody who's been in leadership in other industry, come into our industry and try to lead you and coach you on how to do things that they themselves never done. So the benefits representative, when we talk about the pay, which is pretty much our agent, I want to, kind of show you guys a system that we put together, right? And obviously we use the law of averages. We use averages as well. But I want to make sure that you understand that we are going to coach everybody based on a system that breeds 10 presentations a week. 10 presentations a week should generate you 3 enrollments. And, that's a national average. Obviously, there's people that out of 10 presentation are generating 6, 7, 8 enrollments. But the idea is to show you something that not only you can accomplish immediately after you start working here, but something that's very easy for us as leaders to manage as well. So when you look at the average sale, the average check size for our working class members is going to be about $67 a month. Now, what that means is that their package is going to cost $67. Now, obviously, the company is not going to pay you based on that $67, because even if they gave you 100% of it, then that wouldn't be a lot of money for your hour or an hour and a half worth of work, okay? So what they're going to do is they're going to annualize that monthly premium. So there's an acronym that I encourage everybody to know and write down and memorize, which is ALP. Often, some of the leaders, old-timers in the company will ask you, how do you spell respect in our business? And, you'll get a lot of them that are going to say ALP. So bottom line is annualized life premium. It's the concept that they're going to take the monthly premium, they're going to multiply it by 12 months to figure out what that client would have paid for the year. That is the number that the company is going to pay us off of. So for example, when we have 3 enrollments a week at the average of 800 ALP, that's 2,400. 2,400 ALP should generate you a paycheck of $1,243. Now, when you notice, your paycheck is broken down into 2 pieces. One is the prepaid advance, okay, and the other one's the weekly bonus. So I'm going to explain both. But before I do, it's always important to kind of talk a little bit about the averages, right? So let's just say that week you didn't have the week that you wanted to have. Maybe you work half the week. Maybe, you only got 1 enrollment at the average enrollment rate, which was 800 ALP. Well, that means for that week, your paycheck is $402. Now, on the flip side, let's just say you had a phenomenal week. You went out there, you're a go-getter, you're trying to get promoted, you're just more motivated, you're very competitive, and you get 7 enrollment at the average enrollment rate. Now your weekly pay for the week is $3,119. Now, there's something that's important to mention, okay? It's not about how many enrollments you make. Most importantly, it's about the size of the enrollment. For example, if you sit down with somebody that instead of their package being $67 a month, their package was $200 a month. When you take $200 and you multiply it by 12 to annualize it, that's 2,400 ALP. So technically, you made the same exact amount of money with 1 enrollment that somebody that got 3 enrollments at the average enrollment payment made. So the idea is to try to not only see more people, but obviously get more enrollments, okay? Now, when we talk about the advancing, I'm going to cover the advancing and the bonuses. So the first thing I need to go over is the agents in their first 45 days are going to have a 50% contract with a 75% advance. Now, it is a very simple concept. Obviously, you're going to have your contract. The company, which you're entitled to, then the company is going to give you an advance. So after your first 45 days or after 45 days, it will automatically go to 60% with a 65% advance. Now that 65% advance is across, agent, SAGA, and MGA all the way to RGA and up the ladder. So let's just see what that looks like in money. So an agent in the first 45 days obviously writes 2,400 AOP. They're going to take that 2,400 AOP. They're going to multiply it by their contract, which in this scenario is 50%. That's a $1,200 commission. Now they're going to take that commission and multiply it by the 75% advance rate that the agent's going to be on to generate what their advance will be for that week. So based on 2,400 AOP, your advance is $900. Now, after 45 days, what's going to happen is you're going to take that same $2,400, you're going to multiply it, or 2,400 AOP, you're going to multiply it by your 60% contract, which is $1,440 in commissions. Then you're going to be advanced 65% of that, which is $936. Now, when we move to the second portion of how you get paid, which is the bonus, is really, really, really simple. It is a weekly bonus that is going to be determined by your monthly net AOP. So it's progressive. So the way it's going to work is there's brackets, right? 1,000 AOP to 3,400 AOP, you're going to get a 10% bonus for that week. 3,500 to 5,499, 14%, 55 to 7,499, 16%, 7,500 to 11,999 is going to be 18%, and anything over 12,000, it's going to be paid at 20%. Now, the way that it works is really, really simple. Let's just say you go out there week one and you write 2,400 AOP. Because it's week one of the month, 2,400 falls in the bracket of 1,000 and 3,400, which means that your bonus is now $240. Week two, you go out and write the same amount of production, but because technically you've written 4,800 AOP for the month, now you're at the 3,500 to 5,499 bracket, so you get a 14% bonus. Week three, you do the exact same thing. Now that's technically 7,200 for the month. You're in a 5,500 to 7,499 bracket, so your bonus is 384 for the week. Now you notice that obviously, you wrote the same business week one, week two, and week three, but you got paid more money week two than you did week one, and week three than you do week two and week one, because you are at more production and a higher percentage. Two reasons we did it this way. Number one is obviously we want to motivate and incentivize those individuals to start the month strong. These bonuses reset every single month. So obviously somebody who starts the month strong has the potential to maximize their bonus and get paid more money. The second reason is we believe that those who do more, again, should be rewarded with more. So if you're somebody who's consistently writing over 12,000 AOP every single month, you should get rewarded with more bonus money, okay? The next thing I wanted to cover is really, really important, what is the true value of your contract? And I only do this because I want to give you guys perspective. A lot of people throw big numbers, big contracts out there, but I want you to understand that this business is not just about the upfront money. There's so much more potential earnings that you can make if you do what's right for the client from the initial presentation. And so what is the true value of a contract? Let's just say you're an agent past your 45 days, you have a 60% contract, and you write $10,000 of AOP for the month. Well, the true value, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get paid your contract, right? Your advances, which is, 10,000 times 60%, it's going to be a $3,900 advance. The next thing you're going to get paid is your weekly bonus. When you do the math, based on 10,000 AOP, the average is going to be 13%. So we just calculated off of a 13% bonus, which is $1,300. The next thing is the remainder of your first year commission. So you got to think about it this way. The company advanced you 65% up front. There's still 35% that they haven't advanced you yet, which is that $2,100. This, as the clients make their payments every single month, the company kind of reimburses this back to you in the form of a release check or to your back-end account. Now, the next thing is a 13-month renewal. So if the 10,000 stayed on the books, you get a $300 renewal on your 13th month. Now, when you look at the total first-year commission, it's adding your advance, your obviously your bonus, your first-year commission, and your 13-month renewal. For that first year, you would have made $7,600 off of 10,000 AOP. Now, when we continue on, as everybody knows, we get renewals. Let's just say you have a 20-year career with American Income Life. At that renewal rate of $300, over a course of 20 years, you would have made an extra $6,000 off of that same AOP. So when you total that up, 6,000 plus 7,600 is $13,600. So when you look at the total earnings of your contract, is you end up making 136% of whatever AOP you write so long as that business stays on the books and continues to pay. I hope that makes sense to you guys. The next thing that's important to cover is obviously our renewals. So you guys understand that residual income is a big part of what we, why most of us do what we do in American Income Life. So when we talk about residual income, it's important to know a couple of things, specifically for AIL. There is a 10% vesting period or vesting schedule. What that means is that every year that you work with the company, you are 10% more vested, right? So for example, 10 times 10 equals 100, which means after 10 years, you can quit, retire, or leave the company, and you're entitled to 100% of your renewals. Now, let's just give you an example. It's really important to know that the vesting schedule only applies the minute you decide to leave the company. So long you are contracted, you're 100% vested. So what that means is, let's just say you were here for 5 years. Typically, somebody here who's for 5 years, who's an average producer, is making anywhere between $4,000 and $6,000 a month in residual income. So we're going to use the lower number. So, you're here, you're working for 5 years, you're getting $4,000 a month in residual income, and you decide that after 5 years, you no longer want to work with the company. Well, what's going to happen is the company's going to say, well, thank you for your service, but because you were only here for 5 years, you are 50% vested. So instead of us continue to send you that $4,000 a month in residual income, we're only going to send you $2,000, obviously, even though you no longer work here, okay? If you retire year number 7, then that means 70% of whatever you were getting. That's why after 10 years, 100%. Now, to kind of explain this in a little bit more basic way, let's just put it this way. Let's say you started working with our company in 2017. Well, in 2018, the company is going to pay you a percentage of all the policies you wrote, or your organization, your team. In 2017, they're going to pay you that percentage in 2018, everybody that's still on the books. Fast forward to 2019, now you get a percentage of 18 and 17. So if you were here today and you started in 2017, you will be getting paid a percentage of 2019, 18, and 17 worth of the business that you wrote, or your organization and team. Okay, so to recap on the renewals, really simple. There's a 10% vesting schedule. You're 10% more vested every year. Every year you get a percentage of previous years that are still in the books. It is paid on the 13th business date of every single month, of course, after your 13th month with the company. And these renewals are lifetime. And they're not your lifetime. They're the lifetime of the members, which means that if you pass away, they'll continue on to your spouse or to your children from generation to generation. Now, what's cool about this is, two statistics that you need to know is, typically our policies, our company retention is 78%, which means that 78% of our business is paying renewals. Now, the cool part about that is when you look at our renewals with our company have a lifespan of anywhere between 35 years to 40 years. And that's because you take the average age group that we're sitting down with on a weekly, monthly basis, and it's between late 30s, early 40s. Of course, we sit down with younger families in their 20s, and we sit down with, families that are getting ready to retire in their late 50s, early 60s. But the bulk is late 30s, early 40s, which means that if the life expectancy in the United States is anywhere between the ages of 78 to 83, depending on male, female, tobacco user, non-tobacco user, then that means 35 to 40 years is what you can expect in a renewal. That's not only changing your life financially, but obviously generations to come. And then the last thing that I wanted to kind of go into is our career track. Obviously, as you get promoted, you're going to be able to make more money. And there's some cool features to it, which I'll cover next. But the career track looks really, really simple, very self-explanatory. It is in black and white. It is 100% based on merit. From benefits representative, you get promoted to a supervisor, which is now somebody who's got enough experience, enough exposure to be able to teach other people how to do what we do. Next promotion is a general agent promotion. At this point, you're kind of working a little bit more on the development of the leadership side, working in the office, more of the paperwork stuff. Leading is your role as a career agent, as a general agent. Master general agent is the equivalent of somebody who's a GM in corporate America. And then regional general agent is where you pretty much get a seat at the table. You get to make some of the decisions for the agency, obviously territories, new ideas, and promotions and all that cool stuff. So when you look at the income ranges for benefits representative, supervising agent, general agent, these are based on what people in those roles made in income in 2019. Now, when you look at master general agent and regional general agent, those two income ranges are not accurate. And they're not accurate because last year, the top 5 master general agents in the company made over $800,000. So it wouldn't be fair to kind of put on there as an income for a master general agent that once you get promoted, you're going to make $500,000. Now, could it happen? Absolutely. The bigger and faster you build your organization and the more lives that you change and the more people that you train, obviously the more money that you're going to make. So let's translate where all this money comes from. Okay. So when you talk about our compensation plan, one of the biggest reasons why, in my opinion, after being here for almost 10 years, I believe that there is no other compensation plan that is as competitive as ours or as aggressive as ours, is because our leadership bonus. We've one company, we're the only company that offers leadership bonuses to our leadership team. So the way these leadership bonuses are going to work is based on the people that you train and develop. So for example, if you were a supervisor and you had an agent that wrote 2,400 AOP for the week, you remember that they get paid two ways, right? The prepaid advance and the weekly bonus. Now, if you were a supervisor and you train this person, the company is going to send you 125% of that person's bonus because you invested your time and your resources. So 307 times 125 is $384 in a bonus to you. Now, if you fast forward and now you're training 3 people and all those 3 people are average, they get a $307 bonus. The company sends you $1,152 before you even see a client for investing your time into training other people and making them better. As a general agent, same concept applies, except now it's 135% of the bonus, which means that you're doubling your organization. So your bonuses at, if you have 6 people that you're training that are average, it's going to be anywhere between, $2,000 to $2,400 or $2,484 in this example. Okay. Last but not least, as a master general agent, the bonus is 150%. So if you're training somebody who makes a $307 bonus, your bonus for that week is $460. Typically, as a master general agent, you have an organization of 10 people. So when you do the math at an average number, 10 people times $460 bonus, that's a $4,600 bonus for the week. Again, before you even see a client. So right there, you're talking about $250,000 in income in just bonuses. Okay. So I hope that this slide was able to help you guys and kind of give you a little bit more perspective on how to get paid. And obviously the different type of positions that you can get promoted with here with American Income Life. So thank you so much. I hope it was helpful. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.